here is Charlie Kirk. Lord help me. This is probably going to be the last time I ever agree with Charlie Kirk on anything. But he stumbles on this, not in the way this is total broken clock, right twice a day. The reason why this is happening is because Republicans have no agenda.
Yep.
They have no political agenda. It is only, really only, they have personal agendas, right? They want to gain power. I want to be, I want to make some money or whatever it is. To the extent that there's a political agenda, it is really just to have no government and allow their business interests to prosper, which ends up putting money back into their pocket. That is their governing agenda. So there is no incentive for them to fix government when it is dysfunctional because they have nothing they want to pass. This is why there is, regardless of whether you think Republicans and Democrats are exactly alike in terms of like their corporate fealty, there is a constituency within the Democratic Party that wants to do things. You could say it's neoliberal, and in many respects you'd be right. You could say it's
sometimes it's labor though too,
and but sometimes it's labor. I'm just trying to sort of like make the stipulate as many of the facts as possible. There are people in the Democratic Party, as misguided as you may be in a position to think that they are at different times. I happen to think that like cutting poverty is a good thing, and we did that, and then we just let it go back because there were others who wanted to stop that agenda. But they want to go in and do things. They want to have a functioning EPA. They want a functioning FDA. They want a functioning IRS so that we can tax millionaires more. They want child tax credits. They want things. They want government to do things fundamentally. Even Biden has given up the rhetoric that we heard from Bill Clinton back in the day, like, government, we're going to make it lean and mean. Republicans do not. And Charlie Kirk just about gets there.
I am getting upset, and I don't want to sound whiny. I hate that, but it shouldn't be this hard. We work our tails off to try to get Republicans elected. And as the great Rush Limbaugh taught us, Republicans would rather be in the minority than have to govern with the majority. People are actually switching away from Jim Jordan now, according to our reports. We're still doing the tallying here. So Jim Jordan is losing ground. Jim Jordan is losing ground. We're going to get the names. It's still happening in real time. Do we have the picture-in-picture we could put up there? Somebody says here, Mike, Charlie, why can't Republicans unify behind the nominee the way the Democrats do? Why can't McCarthy make sure his name isn't voted for if it takes away votes from a nominated Republican? I have no answer to the second part. Republicans do not want to be in charge because it requires responsibility. They go to D.C. not to do things, many of them, but to be somebody. You have the little congressional pin. You have a little staff. You get to dress in ties. Some of these people are really sick narcissists. You get a nice photo. You get an office with your name on it. And you get told all these beautiful things about how great you are in constituent meetings and selfies and photos and portraits. You get to be important. And Congress is basically filled with student council narcissists that otherwise would not be able to succeed in the free market.
Okay, now.
So close.
Well, he's right about all of that stuff. He's also, in many respects, talking about himself.
Yeah.
But the other part that he's missing here is that there is no incentive, there is no urgency, because they don't have any agenda. They don't have a political agenda that's not being served by what they're doing now.
Well, I mean, but if there was a Republican president, this wouldn't be happening. They would be trying to pass tax cuts so that the Republican president could sign it. That's the only job that they have to govern.
100%. But they could have passed those tax cuts like 6 months ago. I don't know that they would be having the same fight because the president would be there to have the political power to punish, the Matt Gaetz and this and that, and they would be inhibiting the actual doing of work on some tax cuts. I mean, that was the only thing that Donald Trump passed during that time, although Congress also set up mechanisms for them to retain power and for the ability of the president to roll back stuff that other presidents did. But that's it. And so there's not the urgency for them to do anything. They don't shut down the government. A third of them would be like, okay, as long as there's no threat to my political power and my getting reelected, they're not incentivized because they have no agenda. They literally look at the Republican platform. The Republican platform, you cannot look at, on this issue, they this, on this issue, that. It literally is, in parentheses, see Donald Trump. Do we even have a document? Is there even a document that says Republican platform from that came out of the last convention? It was just
what Trump wants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.